members of Hospitality Divas by Raj Hospitality in association with H&M Hospitality and Marketing Services and Wanderlust, India's #1 travel magazine. Our today's diva is none other than Ms. Soraya Rebello, Vice President CSR from Jakson Group. Welcome to the show. And welcome to the show, my co-host of the day, Ms. Geeta Maheshwari. And happy Diwali to all the viewers.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and wish you all a happy Diwali as well in advance.
So leadership is not a position or a title. It is action and example, and you are a true inspiration of this, ma'am. Welcome to the show, Miss Soraya Rebello. We are so happy and delighted to have you on our show. Without a further ado, let's start with the show. Ms. Rebello is the Vice President of CSR and Corporate Communications of Jakson Group. She was born and brought up in Goa and has traveled extensively throughout the country as well as overseas, learning new cultures and making new friends. With a master's degree from the State University and with over 18 years of experience in the corporate world, ma'am is extremely passionate about her job, especially the part where she heads philanthropy. She has contributed to so many online portals and magazines. Her first book was released in 2019 titled Skills for Life. This was an educational book specially designed for school in India and was a charity project. Ms. Rebello also does a lot of travel writings with focus on niche and experiential tourism. She also has spent her own experiences and learning of working from home in the book Paving the Highway to Success from Home. Let's have chit chat with such an interesting lady, and she is, and hear more from her. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Welcome once again. The basic question starts like that. Your amazing and inspirational story, I will say inspirational story of Rebello ji, from a college pass out to VP CSR of Jakson Group.
Okay, so yes, I was born and brought up in the lovely state of Goa. That's where I completed my education, including my master's in human resources management. And that's where my journey in the hospitality industry started. Where my first assignment was with the Intercontinental. It was a pre-opening hotel then, about 260 rooms. And I pursued my career in human resources from this particular hotel, and then moved on to working for both international as well as domestic brands in the hospitality industry, some of which are Royal Resorts, the Taj Group of Hotels, the Leela, the Kenilworth. And actually, a couple of years after pursuing my human resources passion in the industry, I decided to start up my own business, which was a startup then, way back in 2008. It was a consulting firm. And we were into basically talent acquisition and learning and development. So that was our key forte. So I started it off with two partners who were my close friends. And I moved out of the industry, and we started working pan-India. And I think I ran the company for almost 6 years until, you reach a phase where you believe your calling has come. And while I was on an assignment with my current company, which is the Jakson Group, I was on a consulting assignment with them then. I discovered that there is so much more in the corporate world that I could do, which I couldn't do when I was running my own business. And what I'm talking about here is basically community development. Because I started off with my philanthropic journey with Jakson, and it kind of changed my life, and I felt that this is what I should be doing, as a career and as a passion. So that's when I joined the corporate world back again in 2014 with Jakson. And yeah, today I head CSR as well as corporate communications for the company.
Super, absolutely amazing story. I'm sure for all the young women, it'll be a really inspiration to have heard Rebello ji. Your next question.
True. So, ma'am, tell us about your book and the inspiration behind paving the highway to success from home.
Okay, so I am very excited to talk about my book because I think I've put in a lot of effort and a lot of research actually before penning this book down. And I've had an experience of working from home way back in 2008 when I started my own firm. And at that juncture, it was not accepted in India. Although it was pretty much prevalent in, I would say, in the US and even Europe to a certain extent. But I think in India, working from home was never accepted because I think as Indians, there's something called trust that we lack, in each other. And when the pandemic, hit the world, I think work from home became a necessity because there was no way out. Companies had to adapt to it. So either they would have to give their employees long leave, or they would have to make them work from home. And when I started reading about, especially the newspapers, because I did not stop subscribing to newspapers. I love newspapers. I love my newspaper in the morning, and I've never stopped subscribing to it. And I would read literally every single day some new write up on work from home and how companies should adapt to it, how to increase or improve the mental health of employees, how to strike a work life balance. A lot of experimental articles that were coming out on the newspaper. And I said, hey, what the hell? I've been doing this all my life. Why shouldn't I talk about it and write about it so that, others can benefit from my journey? So that inspired me to write the book, to jot it down. And I think what the book really talks about is how to make work from home successful while you're adapting to the new normal without compromising on productivity and building trust amongst your teams. So this is the entire gist of the book. Well, it also talks about how to be disciplined and how to be flexible, okay, how to adapt to changing times, how to learn new technology. So all the do's and don'ts that are really required to make work out of home productive and successful for both the individual as well as the organization. So that's what the book encompasses.
Fantastic, fantastic. Because I think I have to definitely buy a copy. I've not gone through it, but I've just read a little bit about it. But that itself was very inspiring to me. I'll make sure that I'll buy this book very soon. Why do you think that CSR is important for corporate levels? Many hotels, I've seen that apart from the big groups, individual hotels who are definitely bigger, maybe they have 100 rooms, 150 rooms. I've not seen them, taking the CSR as very serious. So could you please tell us that why CSR is important in corporate levels?
You're absolutely right. It's only companies, larger corporates or larger companies that, actually pursue the CSR function. Now, CSR we know is social responsibility, and today it has extended it's not only social responsibility, but it's extended to the environment. You have a lot of companies actually working towards environment sustainability. The mandate in India is that 2% of your profits have to be spent on CSR. Okay, I believe that a lot of companies who are not incorporating CSR, okay, they don't understand probably the benefit of how much goodwill and how much branding CSR can actually bring to their business.
Absolutely.
Because today CSR is not just doing charity, it is a strategic role in any organization. It is a leadership role in any organization, because branding and goodwill are both very, very crucial for the growth and the survival of any organization. So maybe a lot of companies have not looked at CSR from that point of view, and maybe that is why they're not really implementing it. But if you look at companies like Tata's, which is a brilliant example, so their entire branding is with trust, so built with trust, something like that. I don't remember very well, but it's something to do with trust. And Tata's has actually very well displayed as to how over the years they have helped in the industrial growth and the economic growth in the industrialization of India, and how they've actually contributed towards the community.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a classic example as an organization of how a company like Tata's, that began probably in the early 19th century, today is such a successful company because they service the communities that they were operating with. So I think a lot of companies are yet to realize that, but many organizations today have already realized the worth and the value of CSR, And if you see, there are a lot of conferences, a lot of summits that are happening that are focused around CSR, where companies are actually coming together to share views and insights on how to make this a very strategic and a leadership role in an organization.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Rebello.
So, how do women tackle issues at workplace with their male counterparts? What do you think about that?
Okay, now this one's it's a tricky one, and I'm not a feminist, so I will not give you a biased answer. But very frankly speaking, you will always have male counterparts working with you, because we all know that eventually the rate of employment of males is much higher than females, and that's going to continue to persist no matter what we do. Now, how to deal with it is maturity. Okay, you have to be mature, you have to be very patient. I think men kind of always, I won't say all men, because I have mentors today in the industry who are males, and who are so forward in their thinking, who allow me to work on even the most difficult assignment because they have confidence in me. Okay, but all men are not the same, I'll put it that way. So you do face a lot of a little bit of hassles when you are working with men, because they believe that you don't have the flexibility, or you are not as agile, or you cannot just get up and go anywhere anytime. You are first a mother, you are first a sister, you are first a woman, all those aspects start coming in. You cannot do these things, you're not tough enough, you were not built like this. So these mental debates that men have in their mind, I think it's all a mind game at the end of the day. How a woman needs to deal with it is something that I think is very important. And one is to be very patient with situations. Learn to be very mature while tackling the situations. If you feel you are going through workplace harassment, or any other kind of harassment, today there are a lot of forums that are developed by organizations. I think we just need to follow the redressal forum and speak up, because the more we don't, I think eventually it is you don't want the woman to eventually resign and leave. You want her to fight for her rights. And I think these kind of forums today are made available by many organizations, and in that sense, the work environment is getting better. It is getting better, and I see it only getting better and better every day. And if you read about the contribution to women, especially at the board levels, I think it is very evident, and data and surveys also have enough of proof that having more women in the workforce, okay, definitely adds more value to an organization. So it is getting accepted, and in a country like ours, it will take time.
Thank you. What are the lessons learned in the COVID times, and how you are going to utilize them to the best in the future, or maybe for your company?
There are a lot of lessons learned during the COVID time. I think things that we did not know, we've actually accepted and we've moved forward with. To begin with, we've learned to live with the same old wardrobe. Okay, most people haven't gone shopping in a very long time. We've learned to appreciate company at home. People have learned to, families have come together. We've learned to value each other's time. I think we've learned to have more conversations, because earlier, even though we lived in the same house, we were so busy with our own work that we didn't have time to make quality conversation. So I think that has happened. People have actually begun to value a lot of things which earlier were taken for granted. I'll put it that way. And I think the biggest lesson that we learn both professionally and personally from COVID is that nothing is permanent. Whether it is, nothing is permanent. We have to be flexible, we have to be adaptable, because if we are not, we will not be able to survive. And COVID has actually taught us the importance of technology today. That technology can be used to a level that is imaginable. But having technology and not using it, or not being able to adapt to it or upgrade yourself to it, is not going to be useful. So I think technology has become a very big factor with COVID coming in. and how we're going to leverage technology for business is another very important aspect that COVID has actually taught us.
Thank you.
Mm.
Geetaji?
So, what are the basic principles of life you believe in that can assure success both personally and professionally?
Um, you know, for me, success, I would equate success to being happy. I think it's very important to be happy. Only then you feel that I'm successful. So again, success and happiness ranges differently for different people. For me, being able to provide a scholarship to an underprivileged child is makes me feel successful. That I've been able to achieve this. For a poor man, probably buying a cycle, okay, makes him feel that okay, he's been successful. He's managed to achieve a medium of transportation. So success can be weighed differently by different individuals. It depends upon your personality. It depends upon your financial status. There are many factors, but at the end of the day, if we talk about success and we are not happy, it is meaningless. So the two have to go hand in hand. And in order to be successful, I think what is very important is to shed all insecurities. So we live in a world where we are actually very insecure about so many things, and there's so much of societal pressure, there's so much of peer pressure, that at times we end up doing things we don't even want to do. We're just pushed into that mode. So if we are able to shed insecurities, and come out as just very simple individuals doing things that we love the most, I think we will be very happy as well as successful in whatever we choose.
Super.
Right.
Very nice. Travel is your passion, is very obvious. What else interests you and adds zing to your day?
Travel is my passion. I love traveling, and I even have a travel blog. Of course, I don't really publicize it, but it's like something that I like doing. I like writing about very niche places that I would have visited. Um, and it makes me very happy, especially when I share my travel stories with others, and I hope others can learn a lot from it as well. So that's why I like to share my stories. um, Apart from that, my daughter, she's 13 years old, and she's an aspiring YouTuber. So whenever she creates YouTube videos, I feel really happy. I feel thrilled about it because she's creating something. It's all about creativity, how she's putting her creativity together. So whenever she actually publishes a video, it kind of adds a sparkle to my life. The other things I really feel very, very happy about doing is music. It's like my second love. I love music. I love singing. I love riding. Whenever I get some free time and I'm back in Goa on vacation, I make sure, I pick up my brother's bike and I go out for a ride. So that's something that really gives me a zing, as you rightly said. That's a lovely word, actually. So that's something that really, keeps me happy and gives me that thrill. And apart from that, I think if my husband's also a hotelier, so if he shows up at home at 8 o'clock in the evening, that gives a zing to my life, because otherwise, a hotelier's life is endless. They get out of the house and you don't know when they're going to come back home. So these few things, I think, add a lot of happiness to my life. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Super. Geetaji, you have anything to ask?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, ma'am, that this question is for our viewers, from where they can buy your book, your recent book,
Okay.
Paving the Highway to Success from Home.
So they can buy the book. One is directly from me. Okay, that's one source of buying it. And I have actually a website that has been designed, which is sorayarebello.com. So if you click onto it, you can buy it from there. Apart from that, it is also available on Amazon, both in paperback and in the Kindle version. And it is available on many online sites like Barnes and Noble. There's an Indigo Books, there's Google Books. So it's available on different online platforms where it can be purchased.
Thank you. Passion is energy. Do what you feel in your heart to be right. Ms. Soraya Rebello, given very important and I will say that informations and tips to be successful, happiness, and of course the leadership and many more things, you know. So it was fabulous, and in fact I was literally thrilled to hear her and the kind of information she has passed on in many aspects. Thank you, Soraya ji, for being in the show. Thank you very much, and it is really inspiring to be with you on this show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You would like to have,
Thank you so
you would
much.
like to say anything to the young viewers? Where a lot of young women are going to look into it. For today's young woman, you would like to say some tips?
Of course, I'd like to say something if given an opportunity. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Firstly, I think women, you know, they are the most wonderful and God's most favorite creation.
Okay.
So I would say keep smiling. You know, pursue your careers, whether you are, you know, sisters, or whether you are daughters, or whether you are wives, or whether you are mothers. It shouldn't really affect your career at all. If you feel that you are passionate about making a career into something, you know, don't look at how much money you're going to earn. Just look at what's going to give you enough of satisfaction. So go out there and make it large in life. And, you know, always keep your head up, keep your head high, because you are not only equal, but you're even more superior than what a man can do.
Absolutely. I think it's a very right information. I always appreciate, because there are a lot of women work with me also, and I always keep motivating them that, you know, you should sit in my place. You know, it's women cannot do this. I don't think so. It is something right, which women can do anything, and many women have already proved that. Thank you very much once again, Rebello ji, and also Geeta ji, for coming to the show.
Thank you so much, and happy Diwali once again.
Happy Diwali to
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you.
Bye.